All right, guys. We are live, and of course, we're gonna wait and make sure that it is actually playing live. It looks like it is. Let me mute it so you don't hear the double audio. There it is. So, all right, guys, what's going on, man? I'm probably gonna say this a few times here tonight. I'm not gonna be long. I don't want to bore you guys with the details, but I'm on vacation. Much like how Smitty was on vacation a week or so ago. But I can't be long, man. I got a bunch of family over and things like that, where we're vacationing down in Florida. So, I can't be long. But we're definitely going to try to reflect on the little information that we did get. We'll give our thoughts on that. And let me share the stream out really quick to make sure everybody is following along. And forgive me, guys, you're probably going to hear background noise and people talking and laughing and things like that. But, hey, it is what it is, Be happy that, Miss Smitty and I are able to, give you guys some type of content even when we're vacationing. So I'm pretty sure you guys will be cool with it the same way you were when Smitty was on vacation. But, Smitty, man, first and foremost, man, how was your week? How's everything been with the kids and family and any playoff news you want to talk about before we dive into this Madden thing?
Not a lot really to say. I mean, I will say this. I mean, we're good and everything. Everything's good. Wife's a little bit sick. She's doing okay though. But yeah, week went good. Blazers, man, such a disappointment.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 3 games where you're up 17, well, 16 one of them and 17 two others, and they come back and beat you. No KD, then no KD, no Boogie, and then the closeout game, no Iggy, and Iggy made a key play in like one of the games to keep Dame from scoring. Like he played some real sticky defense. So to lose that's in that fashion, that's crazy.
Yeah,
And then
really sucks.
And then also on the other side, I mean, here we are thinking that basically it was about to be the Bucks, and now that series is tied up. Wait, is it? Yeah, it's tied up two even now.
I'm gonna tell you something, Smitty, man, and I definitely want to hear your thoughts on it because I know, like I said, as far as X's and O's, you dive into basketball a little more than me, man. Looking at that, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Everybody kept saying the Bucks would beat the Warriors. No, I don't know, bro. Not that team. The last two games, they just look flat. No. They like I didn't really see the aggression. I mean, it's not fair to say that about the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors is a mega team and they're great teamwork and but you see the type of tenacity they have when they have a chance. When they up 2-0, or especially when they up 3-0, the Bucks oh man, they just look awfully flat them last 2 games. That particular team that's been on display, we'll see what happens tonight, but that team, they can't beat the Warriors. No way.
Yeah, neither one of them want to see the Warriors. I mean, they're not going to win. The Bucks weren't going to win. Okay, if anything, the Bucks get a game, maybe 2. And it's not going to be because they don't play hard enough or they're not tough enough or they don't play good enough defense. It's Golden State is so seasoned, and yet they still take it up to another level. Like look at what the narrative basically is now. Oh, now Steph Curry's elevated to be this, that great of a player now because of how he's played this series. If he plays like that against the Bucks, it's a wrap. KD or not. You know what I'm saying? If Draymond, and Clay play the way they play, whether it's the Bucks or the Raptors, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. No, you're not winning. There's no way. They're just gonna they're gonna out-heart them all the way, and that's it. Let alone outscore them. They're gonna decimate. Like Steph Curry and Clay, they have the kind of games that you watch the game for 5 minutes, you just wave your hand at the TV and walk away because of what those guys will do in a stretch of 4 to 5 game minutes. it's ridiculous when them boys roll. So hey, whoever comes out the East, it'll be that's congratulations on a great season. You know what I'm saying? You fought hard. You reached a goal that you didn't think you possibly was going to. I mean, well, you potentially would have, but who'd have thought you would have lived it out? Now you go up against Golden State. Now, if you pull off, if an upset does happen and Golden State lets them get it or whatever, it'll be all on Golden State because there's no reason why they shouldn't come away with the title. In all brutal honesty, regardless of how tough those teams are, they're just not. They're not that good to beat them. So
yeah,
we'll see.
That's kind of how I feel, man.
That's yeah.
It's no knock on Golden State. Because of course, in the football world, a lot of people don't want to see the Patriots win. But it's the same reason. To me, I don't hate the Patriots. I actually like and respect Tom Brady. It's just I get tired of seeing the same thing over and over. And particularly with the Warriors, I like those players even more. I'm a Steph Curry fan. I like what he does. I love Klay Thompson. I like KD for the most part. You guys know I still feel a way about joining that team after being up 3-1. But it is what it is. If the man wanted a ring and be with the super team, whatever, go ahead. But I just like, God, man, I mean, I want to see another team, at least another team have the ability to win, or maybe two other teams go at it. It's just getting redundant. And again, no disrespect to them. I just was hoping to see more out of that. So there you have it. But really quick, guys, like I said, man, we'll spend a little bit of time. I've told a lot of you guys earlier, you saw the video I did earlier, I'm vacationing down in Florida at my wife's father's house. Just having a good time. There's other friends over that we know from down here as well. So, a little bit different from, when Smitty was on vacation, it was just his kids and his wife. He was able to kind of, sneak off a little easier than me. Mother-in-law being here, of course, I just can't be away for but so long. They want me to be a part of the festivities, but we'll go ahead and get into it. Hopefully, guys, everything is working the way it should. Y'all let me know. I'm running off of the MacBook, man. The stream has been a little sketchy for me. You guys know in the past with OBS, using my MacBook, it just hasn't been the greatest. So if it drops out, man, y'all let me know. If it's dragging, then we apologize for that.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Looks like we're back green now.
It had dropped for a moment and then it came back. Okay,
yeah, see. So guys, let me say that again in case you missed it. OBS just doesn't work well with my MacBook. I probably should have did this as a Hangout, but we're not going to be on that long anyway, so hopefully it'll participate. But let me stop yapping, man. Let's get to it. Smitty, I'll let you kick it off, man, because I have my thoughts. I think it's kind of going to go in line with where you're going, and you'll definitely understand my point of view of it after watching it. But what were your initial thoughts, man? Is if you want to address the good, the bad, and the disappointment, all in one, feel free. But what are your initial thoughts as far as what was presented in the stream, number one, and then number two, the things that were actually talked about? How do you feel about those things?
Well, I mean, the problem, the whole problem that I have, and I mean, the sentiment that I basically shared with some other game changers as well, is that I don't think there was any point for them to do a stream. To be quite honest, this was honestly a waste of time because they didn't show anything. Like, this is part of the issue that's been going on with EA.
Did you see the article, by the way?
Yeah, I got the article up.
Very short, right? Very short.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. There's no video. There's no videos of anything. There's nothing in depth. There's not and I mean, I understand. EA Play, they're going to showcase more, and they're asking us what is it that they want to see. I'm like, real talk, we need to see everything. I mean, there's nothing that needs to be specified. We need to see all of it, what you worked on. That's the point of us watching these gameplay blogs and these deep dives. We were looking to see the information, not just talked about, but then showcase some examples. do your PowerPoints and all that stuff, whatever it is, however you chose to do it, and then we need to see the gameplay. And for you not to show anything of it at this point, that's extremely disappointing. I can
Mm-hmm.
understand the other blogs, the other aspects not really being shown. I mean, it would have helped to showcase something in motion, but not showing anything wasn't really a big deal. But now it's a big time deal because all the eggs are in one basket. Because look, game changers, all that game changer or not, everyone's not going to EA Play.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's not, is everyone going to be able whenever, like, if they do an open beta, is everybody going to be able to participate, or is it going to be like how it's been in the past where only certain people are going to get codes and be able to try it out? So then if you do that, then all of this has these past 4 weeks basically have been a big time disservice to many people because they haven't been able to see this. Like, they can't see it. And oh, how is the X Factor going to work? How are these superstar abilities adapted? We haven't seen that. So listening to Clint, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate Clint's descriptions. I appreciate A-Dub and his breakdowns. But we need to see it in action. As y'all have heard me and Sim talk about, post launch when this game comes out, are we gonna be? Will A-Dub be able to stand up in front of camera and just fire up a stream just because and really talk to this game about how these RPOs run? How about the defense? And that's the other thing too. What about countering these RPOs? What's discussed in it? I mean, I haven't really looked at the blog yet, but I mean, what you know what is going to be the counter? What are the defensive counters? What defensively has been worked upon? Listening to RG and Farls, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, yeah, they worked on locomotion and they did the things that they did, but we ain't hear nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't seeing nothing. I need you to walk the talk. All we doing is just hearing you speak. We need you to walk the talk. Yeah, guys. So we did this improvement to locomotion while RG's talking. Easily do a fade transition to showcasing the running in motion when it comes to hitting the hole. Blah blah blah. Showcase a video clip of it actually happening. Show us something. We ain't saying unveil the whole dang on game. We're saying showcase it. Show us. Show us the gameplay aspects. For those that remember, and I mean, maybe some guys need a reminder, but when the playbooks were showcased in the past, they actually shown us stuff. Like when they talked about audio back then, they did playbooks on audio and stuff like that. They showcased how the audio was going to sound. We just didn't have to take their word for it and just say, oh, yeah, we had Phil Simms and Nats in the studio and they did audio and they did. No, they actually played clips. They actually played stadium sounds. They actually played football cadences. They actually played stuff so that way we could get a taste of, oh, okay, we see what kind of direction they're heading in. Oh, okay, that's nice. And then they did the gameplay stuff. So, and same thing with franchise and all that. So it's like to not showcase anything is greatly disappointing. That's where I'm at as far as initial my reaction. That's how I feel. Do I like that the RPOs are being added in like the jet? I appreciate the jet sweeps. I appreciate the alerts and the peaks and the reads like what A-Dub was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
This is very reminiscent of NCAA football '08 because this was something that they did back then. Not these specific plays, but I'm just saying the whole RPO concept. You had certain teams that had those various options. They had those RPO options in there. Some people just had the read option, others had the RPO. So it's nice to see that element being brought back into the fold. Yeah, the little video clip they show, I mean, the clip on a grid, it's like it's a clip on a grid, and we need to see it run. You know what I mean? We need to see it run real time, offense, defense, wide receivers running routes. We need something to grab onto. And, once again, reiterating that point, you're putting all your eggs in the EA Play basket. And like I said, all of us aren't going to be there. And then if you and see once again, this is a very underwhelming presentation. If what is shown at EA Play is very underwhelming, then what? What's going to be the excuse then? What's going to be the fallback plan for people that are saying it's okay they didn't show anything? What are you going to say then? Because there's going to be nothing else to fall back on. Well, I guess you're going to just buy the game and find out. Oh, no, I don't think so. Like, no, there are a lot of people that need to be proven. What's the deal with this game? What are we getting ourselves into? Like, I understand Clint basically narrated that defenders, unless they're truly elite athletes, they won't be able to just jump up and knock the ball down like they used to. Does that mean that the passing is actually going to be legit? I don't know. Maybe they made it so that maybe the trajectories could still be the same, or they could be similar, and it's just that they worked on the linebackers. In terms of how they're able to interact with the plays. So we don't know. We honestly don't know. Right now, there's still a whole lot of questioning right now, and there's a lot of answers that need to be given. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at currently when it comes to this, Sim. So I'll throw it to you, man.
Yeah, man. I share the thoughts of what Smitty said as far as the disappointing side is I was assuming it was going to mimic what we once saw when they used to do the playbooks. Remember when they used to show actual examples? I mean, a lot of us would remember that. And primarily, too, I know some people, I always try to think of people's counter. Something like Smitty saying, I'm sure some people are already saying, it's okay to do. No. Let's look at the flip side of it. Some people are going to say, well, it's different now, and they market different than they did back then. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, what else have y'all told us? Mike Young said that the way that they've been, basically building the game, it's in a better state much sooner. So I know Smitty and our ears perked up when we heard that because we like, oh, so we probably going to see more earlier. Because we know what the argument has always been in the past. It's too early to show and blah, blah, blah. I mean, guys, just in case y'all don't know this, it's been times when going into EA Play, they really didn't know how much they wanted to show because of the state of the game. But now you're telling us that, you're working on it much faster. So I was expecting at least to see some plays in action, 1 or 2 plays in action, 1 or 2 examples of local motion, which, let me take a pause for a minute. The RG segment actually was more informative than anything else, even though it still was little sprinkles. But I like hearing RPO Part 2. Or RPM, I say RPO. RPM Part 2, 2.0, if you will. They're claiming that we're going to see much more control and, realism and authentic movement. It's Real Player Motion 2.0. The left stick feels much cleaner, etc., etc. Okay. All sounds good, but I would have liked to have at least seen a little example of that. Smitty knows this. The times that we've gone down early in the cycle, times where I've been there, say, early, February, maybe late January. There's been times where they show us the presentation as far as what they're working on that year, and we're able to see video then. Here's what this looks like. This is what we're working on. So I was expecting to at least see some video of, just show 1 RPO in action, which I know they showed the, a little bit of the, on the grid, they showed the handoffs and things like that. And I know some of y'all are going to challenge this, but honestly, I don't know how Smitty feels about this, but I'll be honest in saying some of that, it did look a little cleaner as far as the way the players were running and such. Now, I don't know if, that's a peak as how animation will look. But if you go back and take a look at it, you might have to admit, unless you disagree, which is fine. But to me, the way the players were running and moving looked a little better than they do in 19. They looked much smoother to me. So hopefully that's
Yeah.
a peak as far as what this play of motion is going to be. But like Smitty said, could we have seen it, please? Just show us something, a small little something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to sound like Smitty that everything wasn't good. It's just that it wasn't enough detail. And this is what I was afraid of, man. I was afraid that it was going to be more of a marketing piece instead of full-blown details with some of the stuff that we really want to know. You know, RG alluded to they're making these interactions more realistic. You know, he alluded to that, but y'all know the pain points of myself and Smitty and, you know, NYKia and others. How are these players? Here's the number one questions. These are the biggest questions. How are the one-to-one interactions and animations? How will dice rolls play into this stuff? The win and loss ratios. How will it look? Will it replicate cleanly? Will we still see ridiculous warps and shifts? How much of the weight and momentum is a factor, Clint? Because you mentioned that, you know, they mentioned that in the last stream, the last gameplay stream, when they were talking about these abilities and such. These are the questions that we still need to have answered. What about that pass rush? Oh, here was a key thing that I noticed, and I actually did like this. And, you know, I was kind of watching it on my phone, y'all, so I didn't have my same, you know, the same tools to take notes or whatever, so I know I missed stuff that I want to talk about, but the mention of taking off the aggressive coach adjustment, I like that. We've been saying that for years, and I know Kia heard that, and Kia has been saying that. Guys should be pass rushing like that, period. They all should be aggressive. And what RG said is we have other things in place that will address that allows you to get a better pass rush, such as the guy's ability and things like that. I would have wanted to hear more about that. See, so it just wasn't full enough of detail. You know, and again, we're not attacking those guys, because let me tell you, A-Dub could have took over that stream and he could still be talking right now, breaking down concepts and coverage, but that's my point too, Smitty. We ain't hear nothing about the coverage changes, nothing.
Right.
It was just, to me, it was just one of those things, man, that it wasn't enough meat. It just wasn't enough meat.
What I'm saying.
We're on a wait and see basis, and that really sucks, man. That really sucks.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, I mean, looking in that blog, honestly, there was more meat and potato depth in that superstar ability blog than this. To be quite honest.
Yeah.
So that's the sad part. You know, and I mean, yeah, and I do agree with you. The run animation did look good when, you know, on that jet sweep and everything like they had shown. It did look good.
It did. I can't front.
I'm not taking nothing away from them on that, but at the same time, what happens when the user got the sticks? What happens when what about user control run animations? What's going on with that? Like when somebody's running with their player left or right, when somebody tries to do some unrealistic hummingbird kind of movement or some unrealistic kind of spin or some kind of system breaking move, like what ends up happening? You see, and we don't have anything to depict any of that right now. And you're telling me you're going to see somebody getting wiggly like that on the sticks at EA Play? I highly doubt that. I highly doubt it. So that's why I don't agree with it. I don't agree with their approach at all. Like if this is the approach you're taking, we're going to give you guys, we're going to say this is quote unquote deep dive material. You know, it's not. But then we're going to wait until EA Play, and then we're going to give you the deep information. Like, you need to give us some of that detail now, especially when you're saying this is a gameplay deep dive. No, you have to showcase something.
Yeah, man.
That's what every game does. That's like saying that's like Avengers Endgame, right? We got this movie coming out, right? Avengers Endgame. We're gonna do a deep dive telling y'all about what it took for us to make this production happen, and we're not gonna give y'all a trailer though. Like it'll be like, so we just sat up here and listened to y'all speak about a concept, time all this time, and how you guys, but yet you're not truly unveiling anything to us, and we don't even get a tease of what's going on. So we have nothing to go by except y'all word. That would be lame. That would be extremely lame. So you can't you to do it this way and just be like, well, we're just gonna wait until the movie comes out, essentially, or nearly when the movie comes out. We're gonna hope that one trailer is gonna make it all happen for you guys. Now, when you're a studio like Marvel Studios that has a extremely high prestigious reputation, you can do that. When you're EA and the reputation you have right now, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And think that it's all good. Unless you really go, I mean, y'all better be spending some quality time showcasing every single freaking thing that's going on in this game. Offense, defense, mud, face of the franchise. I mean, y'all might as well just start playing the mode. And just play the mode and just start showing all kinds of stuff. Franchise, y'all better showcase some stuff. Because you have no choice now. Because you didn't show us anything. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's and I mean, of course, me and Sim in other game changers. Yeah, we get a code for the game, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, it's a $60 game. We're not tripping off of that. We're just saying, like, from a consumer standpoint, when the consumer has felt wronged about the product, and then you sit up and you shortchange us on the details, and it's just, oh, just keep waiting and you'll see, keep waiting and you'll see, and then this moment gets here, and now you're basically telling us yet again, well, we told y'all some details, but now you're still gonna have to wait and see. Like, really though? What are And then I know you guys, I know they have their survey and saying, well, what do you guys want to see? But I mean, simply put, I'm literally putting it in there. I'm like, I want to see everything because you didn't show anything. That's literally what I'm gonna say in that blog, in that survey, because you didn't.
Yeah.
I need to see how it all works. That's the only. I mean, it's only fair. Like, I never seen somebody say that they did a deep dive on something and it didn't show anything. That's just like Red Dead Redemption when they did those videos leading up to the game release and told us what the different details. Oh, this is part of a video series where we're gonna go into it and we're gonna show you guys what to expect and what you can see when it comes to playing Red Dead. They're telling you and showing you at the same time what you're gonna get into. So why in the world don't we get? That's what we should be getting here. Listen to Clint, listen to A-Dub, listen to RG and all that, and at the same time, they'll show us what we're getting into. We're not saying show every single jet sweep play. We're saying give us an example though. Like, you could take an example. You could take one play of each. You say you have over 200 of them. So then you can throw an example of each one and just showcase something so people can see how it works.
Yeah, man. And just to clear a quick narrative, guys, I want to read 3 comments here, and then I'm going to explain to you guys what we actually saw and why we saw it that way. Shout outs to C-Mad and shout outs to Kendall too, man. Earlier, Kendall McClendon.
Yes.
I don't have the round of applause with me here on vacation, but thank you for the donation, man. We definitely appreciate that. And I know another guy here, Podcast Red Zone. Normally, man, we take calls. We just add you on Skype. We're not going to do that tonight, man, because we're probably really not going to be on much longer. Relatively short show tonight, but definitely, if you guys want to call in, man, maybe we could designate even next week's show to just getting you guys coming on verbally and sharing your thoughts. But real quick, C-Mad said he liked the concepts. Goodbye to aggressive pass rush and leaping linebackers and the new hot routes. I like that too. That was kind of interesting. But then he said he's disappointed with their execution of giving us real useful information. Fully agree. Joe Bob 19 says he dislikes no showing of counters to RPOs and no gameplay. Yep. Smitty shares that sentiment. And Nikki Sahada says, and they didn't show any defensive concepts or anything, not even a discussion about it. And then NA says, makes me wonder if the only reason they showed anything in the past years is because Rex was there. So this is what I wanted to basically mention. What we just witnessed, guys, and I was fearful of this. I was just hopeful that it wouldn't be that way. We witnessed marketing in its full splendor. Everything that Smitty and I has ever told you guys about who controls what and the suits this and the suits that, y'all saw it in that stream. And let me explain to you why. Do y'all realize who Anthony White is? A-Dub wants nothing more than to talk concepts, how to defend this, when to call that. You could hear it in his discussion when he was telling y'all how they designed the RPO and reading, the unblocked player and et cetera, and the different tiers. He could go on for days. My point saying that, it's not A-Dub's fault for not going into the concepts and breaking down. No, that's not him. That was a structured stream approved by marketing. This is what you can say. This is what you can't say. Another example of that was when RG was saying, we got some other things coming in that space around coaching adjustments, but I don't think I can say that yet. This is marketing, folks. Now, again, I don't agree with this. I fully agree with Smitty. I'm a little pissed off because we didn't get nothing. But I'm not even going to act like I'm surprised because we've been dealing with this with EA Tiburon's marketing in the suits forever. I fully agree with Smitty too, man. It's 205. Okay, 205. I didn't realize that, man. I didn't realize that was it. I don't know why I didn't recognize that channel. But yeah, definitely we want to get you on 205 because I have a feeling you're going to have a pretty good response to what we're seeing there. But like Smitty has said, man, EA has earned this reputation where we all are disappointed. Had this been even, and these games are not perfect, but let's just say this was an NBA 2K20 and they were saying, yeah, we did a lot of work around this, right? We would probably be excited because we know the gameplay, the level of where the gameplay is, whether, it has bugs or not. Had this been FIFA, we probably would have been excited and then would have accepted it. Hey, had it been PES on a gameplay level, we probably would have accepted it and been like, dang, I wish I would have seen something, but I know they're going to come through. We don't say that about Madden. And that's why I'm so blown about it. And I was just hoping, man, that they was going to show us some. Matter of fact, I'll give y'all a perfect example. Right here on vacation. It's a guy, and ironically, man, we're actually from the same hometown, but a guy that my father-in-law has befriended, and he's probably only maybe 5 years older than me. But anyway, as I was watching the stream, he actually said, yo, what's going on with Madden this year? And I said, oh, that's funny you asked. I'm actually watching the stream right now. So then he even said, so, what's it supposed to be in 20? And I said, well, in a nutshell, they're telling us it's going to be, more authentic, and this is going to be the one. And, even RG said that, Madden is making the most strides he's ever seen. And his exact words was, yeah, they say that every year. You see what I'm saying? Just general consumers with the same sentiment, like, yeah, that's what they always say.
Yeah, they say the same thing, even on the local radio, because they talked about it here on the sports radio here locally. They talked about it yesterday. 2 days ago. They were talking about the whole NCAA thing. They don't even talk about video games at all like that. And they was like, yeah, Madden's trash. That game's terrible.
See?
They need that NCAA. That game's trash. Oh my gosh, it's the same game every year. It's trash. That's as casual of a fan as you could get. They don't talk nothing video games in terms of sports radio. It's like every once in the blue moon they may. But just to hear it like that says a lot. Like this is the sentiment that you have with people spanning far and wide, regardless of your sales figures. Because like we've said up here before, yeah, Madden sells 6-7 million copies, but as big of a sport as football is, There's no reason why they're not selling between 10 to 14 million, or at least
Easy.
between 10 to 12. They
Easily.
easily should be. If 2K, and look, they used to outsell 2K. 2K went from selling 5 million copies and now they selling over 10 million plus. Come on, man. You step your quality of your game up. That's what ends up happening, man. That's it. You
Yeah.
just can't live off the name and the notoriety of, hey, we got the license exclusivity, so of course you want to get our game. It's like, no, you have to deliver it on the product end. And it all plays a role, like Sim just said, with the marketing. When your game is behind and you don't have that trust publicly like that, you can't come out here and lollygag like that. But yeah, Sim, 110%. Marketing, they tugged on that chain. Oh, you said enough. Clean. That's it. Nope. Don't say no more. And that's how it is. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. It sucks. But this is the way that they gotta follow. And like I said, putting their eggs all in one basket like that is not. I do not like that at all. One
Man.
bit. I hate that.
I'm so tired of the wait and see when it comes to Madden, man. But
Yeah.
I mean, what can we do? I mean, it's
Right.
one of those things, man. Is if you guys ever want to know what makes me tick, and I'm sure you ask the same about Smitty when it comes to the Madden thing. We're the same guys that we were before we even knew each other, and we were making videos about can we get a better product. At heart, that's all we're doing. And I know some people will say, "Man, that same thing every year." Well, I'm waiting for that 1 year that I don't have to say that. That's all I'm
Right.
waiting for. I'm just waiting for the 1 year that we can all say, "Wow, finally, they've really been paying attention." And now I'm looking forward to seeing what they do the next year. I'm just waiting for that year. I think it can happen, but it just has to be. It has to come from the top, and we're going to see. I mean, some of the people that I've talked to offline, I know they're not pulling my chain when they say, "Nah, man, there's been some real investments made this year. You'll see." Okay, and I'm sure, of course, everything ain't gonna be addressed, but clearly this just wasn't for the hardcore. This just wasn't in for the hardcore. And shout out to Brooklyn Bullet. He said, "I hear it in your voice." Yeah, I mean, I don't know what side of the comment you're coming from there, but I will say this: I know, you said you guys are upset and tried. Yeah. Okay, got you. You're absolutely right, Brooklyn. You're absolutely right. The reason why I said I didn't know what side of the comment where you were making that comment, because I've also heard other people have told me, "Nah, man, I can hear it. You know something that you don't want." Nah, I literally don't. So for you guys who think that, I don't. And that's probably why me and Smitty are sounding even worse than we have in the past, because we don't know. We don't know nothing about 20 this year. We weren't a part of that mix this year for whatever reason. And others as well that I know that usually are. Whatever. I think they took a different approach this year, whatever. But anyway, it's to the point where I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired because we know where the real root of the problem is.
Yeah. We've known that for a minute.
Yeah, man. And I honestly would, and this ain't, hopefully, because I know A-Dub listened to us a lot. A-Dub know this ain't coming from a negative place, but theoretically, I would prefer it to be the devs. I would prefer it to be Clint or A-Dub or somebody wasn't getting it done. I would prefer that, because then at least oh, well, they just got to get better talent. But that ain't the case. Like, we know what A-Dub and those guys want to do and what they're capable of doing, and it's just that cloud over them. It's like, and us being stuck in this game changer feedback world, we're overly tired, man, because we've been doing this for so long. And I'm like, okay, there was once upon a time where we start seeing our progression, but then they didn't build on it. That's the problem. So I'm not going to sit here and act like that we haven't gotten some of the things we wanted. I mean, look at the last 5 years. A lot of that stuff you hear Smitty, I, and Azure talk about, but What have they done to DP and wideout interaction since the integration? How has it changed? What have they done to war in the trenches? How has it changed? What have they done to one-on-one interaction? You see what I'm saying? And what have they done for ball placement outside of putting in target passing? Didn't work the way it was intended. And then we just went back to the same Madden with the same lead passing. No changes to that. And I'll even go a step further, Smitty. They keep saying ball trajectories, but how is this going to affect placement?
Right.
Is that still the same? We just got a little more air under it? See, we don't know.
That's what I'm saying. The way the narrative was spoken, they put more air on the ball. They made it so that middle linebackers and stuff can't straight get to the ball. So they could have said that could translate to, we just made the ball go a little bit higher, a little bit more arc, but then we made the defenders, we made their ceiling lower. So now they can't jump as high. So it's like, okay, can you show us a visual? And see, that's what I'm saying. That's where the visual cue comes in. Bang. Now here is an example so that you guys can understand, blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop. See, that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, man.
And when you don't do that, when the middle linebacker lurking all over the field has been a problem for years, you can't just slide by off of just word. You got to show it. And we're not saying, and also just to make this point to Brooklyn Bully or anyone else, we've already said we don't have a problem with the dev team.
Not at all.
Even if it's not the dev team here. If you heard even what A-Dub said himself, he was like, if it was up to me, I'd have like 2 million plays and everything in this game. There'd be all kinds of plays in this game.
Which he has spoken to us in person about that. And also, not to cut you off, Smitty, but real quick.
Go ahead, man.
Y'all have no idea how long A-Dub has been wanting to do these play updates. Let me say this, just so y'all know. There are restrictions in the game that allows him to not even go further because of the way these playbooks and such, how they were tagged. Let me not say too much, but trust me. And it sounds like, until I get a chance to see it myself, it sounds like he's addressed some of that stuff that we discussed a year or two ago that was hindering building more plays. And by the way, y'all, if he had it his way, there would be no custom playbook. So I'm going to give y'all a look into the future, seeing that he's tying a lot of these playbooks to the real deal and being authentic. I'm going to take a guesstimation and say that might disappear if he gets his way going forward. I don't know to be sure, but he hates custom playbooks. I'm telling you right now. So y'all have no idea the fight he has been going through to even be able to build on these plays, and to hear that they can do it throughout the year. I got to ask him some more questions because I'm reflecting on some conversations we had a couple years ago. But
and so that's the key thing, right? And that's the key thing too, Sim, is that you're talking about stuff from years, like of conversations. So that's why we're not even sweating it like that about in that regard. And even Rex has said in one of his interviews, he was like, if the dev team were given the freedom, basically the free reign, if they were enabled to do so, to make the game accordingly, they would have this game turned around in a much quicker time frame than people think. Like, it wouldn't take them several years or anything like that. Like, they could get it turned around in less than half that time, but they got to be empowered to do it. So you got to let them do it. See, and that's what I'm saying. You listen to what A-Dub says, and us, Sim and I talking to Scant, as much as we talk to Scant and everything, these guys' work ethic and all that stuff, like, that's what you got to understand. It's not about having relationships and trying to protect devs and be cool with them or whatever it is. It's got nothing to do with any of that. It's just that when you get that insight and understanding of these guys, because they're literally sitting in front of you, telling you what's up, letting you know this is what my mind is at. This is what I want to do. This is my end game. That's why we came back, when we first came back saying what we said, we're like, man, Either these dudes are real or they're some of the best actors ever because they are legit. Like
The Oscar goes
everything,
to.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like everything these guys are saying in terms of what they want to do with the game is literally what we want in the game. Like we want these things addressed. And like we've said over the years and in the past and all that stuff, and even current, there's many brilliant ideas that these guys have had that I ain't never seen. That some things go well beyond what a Deuce Douglas has put out there, and
Mm-hmm.
they've had those kind of ideas, but they have to be empowered to execute. So that's why when I hear these people bring up these kind of ideas and concepts to the table, some of them never even get to take off. That's why we're like, man, I don't blame the devs for nothing. Listen, like, are you kidding me? The stuff that they're saying they'd like to do, I would love for them to do it. Why in the world would I be mad at them for that? Now, if they can't implement stuff and it's good stuff they have and we see it and it's like, man, they just can't do it. Then that's when you start, like what Sim said before, that's when you start talking about, man, dudes need to lose jobs, man, because making the grade. No, this isn't about devs. This is about bosses empowering their employees to do the jobs they hired them to do and giving them the bandwidth to do it. I would love to see A-Dub all year round. Oh, and this update, now that we're able to implement these playbooks, oh man, I got updates for you. You know what I'm saying? Like he could just update at will. And just, oh, this update, we got these plays, these playbooks, this playbook. Yeah, they made that change in mid-season, so this is what we did. Man, that'd be fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that. Especially for people that are playing in leagues where you just play with regular playbooks and no custom playbooks, or even offline franchises. You actually have your team's playbook and it's updated up to date. You have their playbook. You know what I'm saying? That they're running with in the current season. Up to date based off of whatever changes they may have made or whatever, and you can pick those plays. That would be off the chain, offensively, defensively. That would be insane. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. The empowerment goes a mighty, mighty long way, and that's what we need to see. We need to see that empowerment, and there's no way that these devs would have been like, especially from our experience of going to the studio. These dudes want to show as much as they can to y'all, as much as they possibly can, so that way you guys can see and understand what's going on. There's no way they would have done this stream today and been like, and like, honestly, like, you know what? We're gonna do all this work only to keep it from you. We're just gonna tell you about it, but we're gonna keep it from you.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not. They wouldn't. They're not about that. They about y'all seeing it. So that I just don't like the way that this is being
Yeah.
done. I mean, this is a marketing thing altogether. I don't like the way it was done. So
I don't like the presentation, man, and I'll go ahead and we'll get ready to wrap up here. But I
yeah,
think it reminds me of like how Azure used to react to trailers, and when I used to tell him those ain't for us. I kind of feel the same way now with this whole playbook thing. It's not for the hardcore, and it's unfortunate. We're gonna have to find out a lot of these things later when some of us are able to play the game, or when we can talk directly to devs and get more clarification. And it's really unfortunate, man. And I will leave you guys with this. There may be light at the end of the tunnel. Just knowing how these guys operate, and I ain't even got to say this to Smitty because I know Smitty caught a lot of this. You listen to them carefully, and you can hear where there may be some changes going on. The first one that I noticed was when they said, and this was, a couple weeks or so ago, but them saying that are fixing bugs as they go along.
yes,
That's interesting because Brooklyn Bully asked in the comments, he says, what about the stuff that they are able to do and they can't get right? Well, you got to remember what Rex has always said, how he's always tried to say we need to go back and fix a lot of these problems. And the answer was no. So a lot of times bugs will arise. Rex has said it. I mean, shoot, A-Dub and Clint has said it publicly. Sometimes it's stuff we just got to pass through. And then we'll have to try to go back and get it later because we don't have the time. Right? So now if they're fixing as they go along, that should solve some of the problem. As far as legacy things and bugs that arise every time, we shall see. Another thing, man, is just listen carefully to the way A-Dub and Clint were talking. It sounds like there could be some changes in terms of internally in that building. We'll have to see, man. I mean, I can't say too much because, again, it's things that I've had conversation with people and I just can't go down that road, but we shall see. But just go back and listen carefully. Like, just try to find the little nuggets of information that they're saying but not really saying. Here's another example. The RPOs, right? And Kia made a good point earlier, and I meant to point it out then. I would love to hear more about the reads and the checks and, all of these things from the backer and the D lineman and, safeties that'll be in run fits, all of this, right? And what did we always hear before? We would love to get the RPOs, man. With just our AI just not at a point. The Clint used to say that very publicly. Okay, now it's in the game. That lets me know there's been some changes with AI. To what degree? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that also makes me think I see somebody put this in the comments. What about defensive line stunts? Now we talking. Because you heard also, remember where A-Dub was saying something to the effect of, with this new technology, it allows us to be able to do new technology? What is that technology? Because it was a lot of things that you kept tying back to this new technology with animation and behavior. So you see what I'm saying? It's like it's stuff that they mentioned that me and Smitty would pick up on that maybe everyone else wouldn't, just because you haven't had the deep conversation with these guys to know why they couldn't do certain things. And now that some of these things are showing up in 20, it makes me wonder what changed. Because RPOs was one of those, man, it's going to take a minute for us even to be able to, because of our AI system and and we got to change the way this guy reacts and the blocking. I mean, we had a whole spill on why the RPOs weren't in the game. Now they are. I got more questions now. That's why I wish I was face to face. Which I can talk to these guys, but it's different when you face to face with somebody. You just having a full blown conversation, and more questions come out. So I'm gonna wait and see. Unfortunately, that's the only thing I can do. Yeah. But I think just to sum it up, like Smitty said, man, it was disappointing how it was delivered. Unfortunately, I have to respond to that and say I'm not that surprised with this EA Tiburon. Not that shocking, but I wish you would have done a little more than that. It's just going to come down to how this game plays out, man. Whenever we get an opportunity to play it. I saw somebody mention earlier about a demo. Don't expect a demo. There hasn't been one for many, many, many years. Seeing is that the game will be available as early as July 31st with pre-orders. And Smitty would probably agree, as would Kia, as would DSK. We cutting into beta time right now. We really close. I mean, you would think beta would be out about now, if there is going to be one. I don't know. There may be, and who knows? Could be one that we don't know about. But I'm just saying, we coming up close here to June. I know one year, the beta came out right after EA Play, like literally the same weekend. But that's when the game launched a little later. So we shall see. No, I will not be at EA Play. I don't think Smitty is going either. So
no, I won't be there this year. So unfortunately.
But all right, guys, man, that's all we got for tonight, man. Sorry about the short show, man. But I've said it a million times, but I see we've picked up some viewers since the beginning of the show. So just to say it again, I'm on vacation, man. I'm down in Florida. Been here since what day did we come out here? Yesterday. We'll be here until next Wednesday. Just didn't want to spend too much time away from family and all of that. We got a quick hour in. Those are our initial thoughts, and I'm sure Smitty and I will chop it up, and we'll probably try to find information on our own and get some more questions answered. Maybe we'll have more to talk about next week. But I want to give you guys an invitation, man. A lot of you guys that might want to call in, let's shoot for that next week unless there's anything else that we need to talk about. I don't care about Madden Mobile. And I think that's it, Smitty. I don't think I had anything else on tonight. But, again, the final conclusion, some of the stuff that we think could be coming off of some of the things that they're doing sounds good. It just was disappointing on how they delivered it, and they didn't give us enough meat and potatoes for us hardcore players. There's a lot of questions that we still need answered. With all these abilities and this guy being, and again, I'm not poo-pooing on that idea. We asked for this. Me and Smitty are guilty parties. We asked for the differentiation of players and putting it in CF, and we asked for all of that. But now you need to address us and let us know, how are you going to allow these things to play out? That we don't know. It's a little scary. Oh, and here's one other thing, Smitty, really quick. I agree with one of the commenters. They said that they're a little concerned with the fast to fun thing. They didn't really clarify, because it almost sounds like you basically just going to be right at the line. And they did say the offense and defense would have the same amount of adjustment time, but you talk about authenticity, but then you're not going to, I know that's just pre-play stuff, but it's kind of, I got to see that in action and see how I feel about that. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But before we get out of here, man, you have anything else?
No, that's basically it. We appreciate everybody that did come through and check this out. And, I wish we had a bit more to talk about, or we sounded a little bit more jovial about what was shown, but that's just it. Nothing was shown. So
hey, maybe they knew I was on vacation and they knew I just wanted to do a short show. Because I tell you, I was really hoping for this to be a show that I was like busting, trying to keep it under an hour. And I think we even dragged it out. It wasn't even enough.
Yeah, we did. Because it could have been 30 minutes, to be quite honest.
Come on, man. Disappointing, man.
So, yep.
Well, fellas, wait and see. I guess that's all we can do. So for you guys who actually go to EA Play, man, we'll be relying on you guys that week to give us your thoughts on what you were able to touch and such. But that's all we got, man. So, happy Memorial Day to everybody, man. Hope you guys are fortunate enough to have a long weekend. My lovely, beautiful wife planned our vacation around that. How smart was she? So we didn't have to take as many days off. Lovely stuff there. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Sorry we don't have much more to talk about, but hey, blame EA like we always do. But all right, man. We'll catch y'all later. Everybody be safe this weekend, man. If you're driving, don't be drinking. And if you're drinking, don't be driving. Y'all be safe with your cookouts and all of that. Check your propane tanks because they can explode on you. Just be safe out there, man. Y'all have a good time, this holiday weekend. Y'all be safe. And we'll catch y'all later. Until next week. Peace.
Peace.